Hello friends, good morning. So let's see what to read in the Hindu newspaper today. So on the front page, the Supreme Court hearing on governor's powers, again important from the perspective of GS2. Go through this particular news briefly. What exactly is the CJI said important? Important from the perspective of, again, GS3 economy, GSP related update is rate rationalization. So what exactly the GOM has done in this case, important from the perspective of, again, prelims as well as mains. India, Russia, related update, relation related update is there. GS2 international relations, again important. What exactly is the Assam has done when it comes to Aadhaar card, again important from the perspective of GS2. On page 2 we have a stray dogs related update and how NCD is going to implement that particular order. Just go through the update briefly. What exactly is the two sisters did to save the forest, again important from the perspective of environment. You can utilize such case studies effectively in your essay as well as environment related answers. This particular case study on page 4 about collectorate and what exactly is the collectorate did, important from the perspective of good governance. Dal Lake and first Olympic Games, Khelo India Games, important update from the perspective of, again, sports. On page 5 we have bonded labor related update. What exactly is the bonded labor and constitutional provisions to actually oppose it, important from the perspective of GS2. On page 8 we have lawfare politics, sports and politics. Again, these two analyses are important. On page 8, this particular article about custodial deaths is very important. Note down some of the data points and case laws in this regard mentioned in the article, very important from the perspective of GS2. Particularly on page 10, what is the issue when it comes to Sri Lanka's Tamils, again important. And another important article is about our organ donations. So note down some of the data points important from the perspective of, again, prelims as well as mains. On page 12 we have ensuring universal registration of births and deaths, RGI to states. So population and census in this regard is important from the perspective of GS2, prelims as well as mains. Parliament productivity related update is there on page 13. Go through that briefly as well, important from the perspective of, again, GS2. Axiom 4 related update. What exactly is the ISRO chief said, important from the perspective of GS3, particularly space. Again, another chemical disaster in Maharashtra. Go through that news briefly as well. So disaster management important. On page 15 PMI related update is there. So what exactly is PMI, important from the perspective of prelims. And online gaming bill being passed by Rajya Sabha, important from the perspective of, again, GS2, prelims as well as mains. Particularly on page 16, NATO and Sweden related news is there. Go through that particular news briefly. China-Pakistan economic corridor, again important from the perspective of GS2. Thank you and stay tuned for daily analysis.